Hello. I would sure much rather be there in person for the 25th annual Lowell Women's Week, but I'm sure glad to have this chance to send along a message. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who made this week possible, and thank you for inviting me to be part of it. Lowell Women's Week is always a wonderful event. This year's celebration is particularly special because it comes on the heels of an incredible year for women in leadership. 2020, truly monumental. We saw women from every background, women of color, LGBTQ plus women, immigrant women, public school teachers, nurses, veterans, teens, moms, grandmas, raise their voices and claim their seats at the table. And in January, Kamala Harris was sworn in as the first female vice president in our nation's history. Woohoo! I know that millions of little girls across our country see themselves in her. This week is also an opportunity to celebrate Women's History Month, to reflect on the many contributions of women to the community here in Lowell, throughout the Merrimack Valley, and across our Commonwealth. In 1845, the Lowell Mill girls made history. Faced with brutal working conditions, unbearably long work days, and painfully low wages, the women laboring inside Lowell's textile mills said, "Enough is enough." They came together, they organized, and they fought back. After years of protests and strikes, and remember, this is at a time when women didn't even have the right to vote, the Lowell Mill Girls formed the first union of working women in America, the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association. We might say, nevertheless, they persisted. Their story is a powerful lesson about what happens when women come together to make their voices heard. And today, it is up to us to keep pushing forward and standing up for what we believe in. Since the founding of International Women's Day in the early 20th century, women have opened doors, broken barriers, and shattered glass ceilings. But our fight is far from over. We're still working to build a truly gender-balanced world, a world where women are treated as equals in the home and in the workplace. But this pandemic has set women back. Women, especially Black and brown women, have been hardest hit by pandemic-related job losses and by the loss of childcare options. Many women who've stayed in the workforce but have had to cut back hours in order to pick up responsibilities at home. And make no mistake, that's going to have long-term consequences for their careers. And this is why we need to focus on real structural reforms. We need universal child care in this country. By investing in universal child care and universal pre-K, we would give millions of families across America a shot at a sustainable economic future. We also need to raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in America. Those are just two examples of how we could stand up for women and build an America that works, not just for a handful at the top, but an America that works for everyone. Please know that you can count on me to fight to do just that. We've come a long way in the fight for women's rights, and we're just getting started. We're going to keep standing shoulder to shoulder in the years ahead. That is how we make Massachusetts, and that is how we make this country a better place for ourselves and our families. Thank you all for being in this fight, and happy Women's Week.